And we're live. Thank you for tuning in. Again, we're looking to have a great show on today. It's my first time on YouTube, but I'm pretty excited and happy about it. My name is Kenneth, aka Chaos 963. That's my chosen spiritual name. Excuse me, and it has a lot of spiritual reference. Again, thank you for tuning in and allowing me to spend some time with you. And I'll be sharing some awesome notions and thoughts and some things that I'm sure is going to bless you. So stick around, hear what I got to say, and be blessed. Um, as I say, a little house cleaning. At first, want to let you know that you're receiving me here on Chaos 963. That's our YouTube address. You can find us also on Twitter, Chaos 963, on Instagram at Chaos 963 HZ, Facebook, and that's our platform. We have some different items that we promote on our web page, and we want you to definitely go over and take a look at that. And we're looking to get involved with the folks that are listening to us and folks that we've been listening to. And we feel that iron sharpens iron, and so is the contents of a friend. So if there's anything that we can do for you, feel open to requests, and if there's some things you feel you might be able to do for us to enhance our presentation, get in touch. I'm gonna turn this AC off because the noise is hard to get over. All righty. Um, I don't know if you've seen any of my story. Spiritual man, been spiritual all my life. Whether you realize it or not, you're all spiritual. We're spiritual beings. Um, a lot of us just come to a greater understanding of our spirituality and move further into it. But saying that to say, the spirit had touched me, and to the point where it was several nights in a row that I was awakened from my dream, and the awakening was extremely powerful. It was as if the dream was the reality, and as I came into this reality, that it was more of the dream. I was, kind of disoriented, I wasn't clear, and so. I knew that it was more than just a regular dream. Again, for being a spiritual person, just things. You know that when the spirit is moving on you, you know when folks are spiritual, and some of them with negative energy, some with positive. But the more you practice these things, the more astute you are in those areas. And so I knew that this was not just a normal awakening from a dream, and having this understanding that something was going on. I knew something was happening, and not really wanting to be obedient. I'll be honest. I just kind of went on back to sleep. Well, even in my going back to sleep, pardon me, I had that's the wife being. You have different beings, and that's the wife. So then, as I went back to sleep, I had problems sleeping, and I was fighting it and whatnot, but unsuccessfully. So as I said, this went on for 3 nights strong in a row. And the third night, I mean, just literally got me up, and I had the feeling of almost euphoria. Once know and learn the things of the spirit, it's really not a fearful thing at all. But it was this feeling of euphoria, and wanting to get a word out. I felt that there was something that was being told me that I needed to be fed. And being, in this, you realize early on that a lot of the things that move you and that you get from the spirit usually is symbolisms. You don't get like, hey, listen, I need you to go over 7-Eleven, pick up a. It's not like that. I'm sure there's things and at times it seems that bold and whatnot. But for me, it was the feeling that was so profound in that. And I said I need to. I need to really get on this and obey this spirit, because in the event that I don't, then I know that it's going to be problematic, because it was very persistent and strong and wasn't looking to in anytime soon lightening up. So, like I say, this is about the fifth night, and I had third, fourth, fifth night, and I woke up. So I started recording the events as I woke, and it was interesting because, like a lot of things, you remember some of it, but your memory is obviously fresher right when you wake up, and that's the time to really try to make note of what you have received. And so I woke up. I was about the third, maybe fourth night, somewhere in there, and I wrote down what I didn't write down. I got my phone and I recorded what was in my spirit, and went back to sleep. You let me go back to sleep. I went back to sleep and got up that next morning and listened to it. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. And you kind of get the feeling that that's not me. I don't feel like I was, but it is you. So okay, well, then this is the word for me, because it definitely blessed me, and into that I realized that it would bless others, and so that's what the Spirit was having me to do. So a couple more 2 or 3 nights go by, and wake up early. I'm talking 3, 4. Now I'm an early person anyway, so wake up at 3 or 4. Really not too unusual, because sometimes I would get up and just do whatever it is I was working on at the time or whatnot. But this was a lot sharper, a lot more profound, and I was waking up, grabbing the phone and recording these messages. And as they start having a theme to them, I just like, wow, okay, and started preparing to find a way to put it out. I got a few folks on Facebook. I'm not really Facebook people and all that. I never thought I'd say, but that's new for me. But a lot of it was kind of new, because I wasn't like on there. I look on there now, and as I start to get an understanding of it, I'm like, this stuff is it can be complicated. It can be almost intimidating to be able to use it effectively, and so I had to start going to different web pages and whatnot, and reading and listening and getting a better understanding, and said, okay, well, that's kind of the excuse me, the platform that I thought that I was going to be moving in to put this information out. So as I started working on that, getting a little water here, it started coming together, and I said, okay, the things of the spirit, because when it makes it where all things start to gel and really come together, you just say, okay, it's what it is supposed to be, and I'm going to be obedient to this, because it's truly blessings in it. And I was being obedient. So, excuse me. So I started making arrangements. I started, looking at different equipments and whatnot, because I always been kind of, on the entertainment cusp of things, and folks that know me know that. So I wanted to, put a nice little platform and whatnot together, and have a decent presentation, and possibly, do some singing and whatnot. I sing, love to sing, so I'm putting some things together even now on that. But this wasn't about a singing thing; it was about a message thing, and I started setting stuff up and learning different cameras and the phones that do recording and all this. And before I knew it, it was like time was passing, and I'm like, oh man, I'm trying to circumvent that learning curve. And the Spirit came back in the night and kind of prodded me and said, hey. And it was so strong. And again, don't get it wrong. It was a beautiful thing, to the point you felt like, man, I want people to know this and get this, particularly in light of the times that we were in, that we are in. I would, pardon me, when I did turn on some news, I would see just this madness. I'm like, what the heck? This guy and this over here, they warn, about what to say and what not to say, because I talk to people about that. And I'm like, man, I can't get with all that. If I say it and it ain't right, they'll just have to holler at me about it or whatever, because I'm a lot of it. I'm straight, just censor you all. Okay, well, I'm gonna try to be cognizant of my words, but for the most part, I'm gonna just say how it gave it to me, and then he'll have to watch out for me. So I putting it all together and setting things up and learning the Facebook and Twitter and all that, because I wanted to cover the different medias. And like I said, time was slipping by, and he came to me last time, and it was so profound, it was so deep, saying that people are hurting, man, and people are confused, and you've got a little piece of their puzzle, and you should give that. I'm like, okay, man, let's do this, and it got to the point I felt as if, man, if I don't do this right now, then something's gonna be amiss. It got to the point I was ready to just go, and I see these cats walking down the street with their with their phones and all. I was just gonna get the phone, and man, the phone actually was pretty good little pictures and whatnot. But I want to do something that showed that there's a commitment. It's like, I watch folk, man. I ain't trying to say nothing but what I'm saying, but I watch folk, as they go to church nowadays. It's like when they were able to go. Come as you are. Okay, I appreciate that. When we was kids, it wasn't come as you are. You kind of they had a Sunday best. They got to show Sunday best, and that was kind of the foot you wanted to put forward on that. So polished up the act as much as I could and start coming forward. But again, it got to the point where I was like, I need to move on this, and I need to move now. And so I did, and here I am. And the word that was for me to give was to let folks know that everything truly is all right. I look back when I was really, dabbling in putting out the word, and I had a youth center. I had quite a few years, 7, 8 years in Denver, and um, I realized the one thing that folks needed was some spiritual enlightenment. And so I kind of, dabbled in that then, and I realized that, folks need this now more than ever, and they don't need a bunch of religious people, but they need to know who they are, what there is in them. And so that's what I've been talking about. I've been talking about the dimensional shift that we just came through, because a lot of folks don't understand. They think dimensional shift. It's a dimensional shift. It's not always this big climactic thing. And I said on some of my earlier tapes that a dimensional shift can happen to you 2 or 3 times in a day. You particularly, like if you were a heavy meditator and all, and you like to go into some meditation and man, start meditating, you'll see it. But the point I make is that I needed to tell people that it's all right, man, that we make it. I've read the end of the book, many books, and all of them say that, there was going to be this time. And at the end of this time was a reward, was us coming through as pure gold. I look at gold and how they take gold and to get it pure, they heat it up until the dross comes on top, and they scrape off the impurities, man. And then they let it cool. Then they heat it up again, man. We've been going through some heating up-ums for real. But I'm telling you, we're coming through and have come through. But the point I really want to bring apart is not only do we win, but we win in style, man. The hardest part in this is understanding that you do win, because if you get sidetracked and look at all the other things going on, you'll be distracted. And believe me, there are many distractions going on right now. Man, don't watch TV, but I do computer stuff, and every time you turn it on, and they telling you 17 people did 40 more than 95, and I'm like, whoa, man! If a cat was dining only on that, you would be pulling your hair out. Like you need to turn that off, man, for real, or have something equally balanced for it. I'm dealing with a lot of things as far as concerning the body. I try to eat right now, and I've been saying that I'm going on a fast. I'm getting ready to start, and I'm encouraging folks. Go to my webpage. I'm setting up some information tonight. I'm having that set up so that if there's some folks that want to go fast with me, because I'm telling you, nothing breaks the bonds faster than a fast, whatever it might be. Man, you get to fasting, man, it changes things. So I've been, working on some different things, and I'm heavy into trying to also drink the water, but good water. We know a lot of times Detroit, they do the water could be, whoo. So I've been working with this purification system that this gentleman turned me on to. One of the brothers that I listened to, powerful brothers, man. And I'm gonna put some lists of some folks that I'd be listening to, a list of some books, that if you're so inclined to take a look and indulge, I'm telling you, these cats are tested. As far as I am concerned, I don't put them to the litmus test. And again, everybody ain't for everything. Everything ain't for everybody. Maybe what I'm speaking ain't for you. If not, pass it on. Tell your friend or somebody you think, well, you might like this cat here because, he be speaking on this, like that and the other thing. And if not, they say, eat your meat and spit out the bone. I don't know about that. For rather find yourself needing somebody to do the Heimlich maneuver. Oh, they're choking under the table or something. But nonetheless, try the spirit by the spirit. That's what the word says. And if it don't vibrate with you, okay. But if it do, go with it. But the point I make is that you need to really get out and try some spirits, because you need to know and understand that all of it's not coming from one place. There's 66 books in the Bible, and that was after they got through messing with it and whatnot. And so the one prophet said, and this is not a biblical prophet, but the prophet said, the man who knows one book knows none. So anyway, I'm experimenting with this water, and I'm doing some things. And this guy, man, he had this water treatment system, and so I, implemented it, and as you get astute, and connected to things, you vibrate on different levels. And I was really just vibrating on this food and the water thing. Man, he gave me this purification system for this water, and I'm telling you, felt the difference immediately and been drinking it ever since. And so those things are important as well to help clear up your mind and your spirit so that you can hear. We know the word tells you got an archangel, that's been with you, just hanging out. And some of them got your angels is tired. He's been megaphoning you, hey, and you're just numb. So understand that reach out, listen, and try to get some things, do what you need to do. And if it's fasting, fast, and if it's don't forsake the gathering of yourselves. If you need to get with some other folks, that's always good. Iron sharpens iron, and so on and so forth. So we know these things. So do these things. Do what you need to do. And I digress in that to say again, don't indulge too much on that negative stuff, unless for at least that you have some sort of balance, something to balance that out, man. Because if you're just constantly, eating the stuff that they did coming out that television, then you might have a bit of a problem. And so do that, understand, and so I say the fasting, I'm going fast. I just, I've gone on some 2 long fasts. I did 2 40s, and that was just, man, that was incredible. I spoke on the other day ago about how when I referenced Brother Dick Gregory, he stayed fast and kept him an energy drink. I'd seen him on different shows with this green drink, and he was, man, sound mind and body. When he left up out of here, he was he didn't get ran out of his body. He didn't get ran out of his body. And so I encourage you to look into those things. And in doing that, when we do go through these different dimensional shifts and whatnot, you'll be able to not all be all shocked by it, but you'll be able to tap into it. You'll be able to see that energy shift coming and move and tap into it and make it yours, man. That's what I'm encouraging folks to do now. Understand, yeah, we just went through something, but you went through it. You went through it. And you'll go through some more. But now you need to know, well, what did I go through? The whole world, the word talks about the world yearns and it's like a pregnancy and all that. Man, we're going through some serious stuff, but as we go through and as we have gone through different levels of the dimensional shifts and whatnot, there's releases that are happening. We talk about when the moon and the full moon, it lines up, and the lunar and the lunatic and all that. I shared some of that. But into that, there's energy that's released. Well, if you understand that energy is going to be released, is being released, you can take and tap into that, man. And that's what you should do. That's what you should do. You should know that, man, there's energy here, and I'm going to take advantage of this and use it. Use it. Because if you don't, it might use you. I was thinking about how I hear oftentimes the analogy, of the caterpillar to the butterfly. And if you had a butterfly that had gone through that dimensional shift and come out of the cocoon, this beautiful butterfly, but refused to act like a butterfly, he could have some problems. If you had this butterfly, watch out now. If you had this butterfly that continued to act like a caterpillar, he could have some problems. He could be lunch. He's down here walking around and doing old caterpillar stuff. Well, that's not what's happening. And a lot of us are doing that. There's so much energy and so much knowledge and so much wisdom and things going on to the positive that if you tap into this, man, you will become the person that you're supposed to be becoming. You'll become the word says, a epistle read of all men. I challenge you to tap into that and come into the full revelation and knowledge of who you are. Because we are truly great, great individuals. The story I read and was telling about how the poster the girl had, it said that they didn't go over there and capture slaves. They went over there and captured kings and queens and princesses and potential great leaders, made them slaves. But even into that, not even slaves, man, but captured human beings. It ain't like we, volunteered. No, that was put upon us. And so the point I'm making to that is that a lot of our ancestors didn't receive it. And it's paramount that we study and read and learn of the ones that did not just receive it. A lot of people say, well, why didn't they do this? And man, they was fighting. They were serving them up. And even today, folks serving them up. So if our generation before, well, believe me, the generation before this one was serving it up. I'm out of that generation, man. I was there and watching, lived and dealt with the Panther stuff across the nation. What I really think is profound about this last dimensional shit is around the world. But I was there. So never laid down, and now not laying down. Saying, there's things that are being demanded even of this government today. But as even in the past, there's a lot of folks that are selling out, and that's just what it is. But there are folks that are standing up and demanding, hey, we're not going to just be the same old. We want something, for what we give. They worked us for a few hundred years for nothing. into that, the understanding must be completely communicated to you that you have the key to make these things come to fruition. I'm speaking to people right now that are not just doctors and lawyers and whatnot, but that are philosophers and leaders. And I'm telling you that you are that. You become this butterfly. You must live the butterfly. You can't go back to the caterpillar now. You can't unring the bell. You can't unlearn what you're learning. What you're hearing is going to vibrate in your spirit, and it's going to wake you up at 3 in the morning and tell you, share this message. Because you could be the key to the door. You could be the link to the chain. We're all coming together on this, man. And as we come together, man, if not on a physical, on a spiritual realm, then there's going to be chaos. Chaos is the original spirit in this universe. And it's going to shake up some stuff and cause this reaction to move pillars out of the way. I like when in the children of Eden, when they was leaving about it, said that the pillars shook, man. This thing is fixing to shake. This thing is fixing to shake as the powers that be come into the position and authority that they're supposed to be in. Nothing is harder to stop than an idea whose time has come to pass. This thing has come to pass. But you need to know this. You need to walk in this. You need to move in this. If you never take that step, you'll never get to the end of the journey. You have to walk in it. A few notes, man. One, I was speaking about how, if this is for you, beautiful. If not, pass it on. If it doesn't, again, resonate with you, it might resonate with somebody else, But what's important to know is that it's going to resonate. And I say that to say the word that you might have is going to resonate. And that vibration is going to cause some change. The words are powerful. And I remember particularly when I was, younger and all, and I would hear different speakers say different things. And what was interesting to me, that a lot of times, you'd say, well, what did he talk about? Well, and I was like, well, man, you can't even tell me what he talked about. How you know it was all that? And as I got mature in this thing, I realized, man, that it wasn't even so much what he talked about. It was the anointing behind him that when it hit your spirit, it resonated. It could have said Mary had a little lamb. His fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, it wasn't so much the words. It's that vibration, man. If these things resonate in your spirit, let them. If you got something resonating in your spirit, share it. If you know somebody that needs something, even if you don't have it, try to put them up under somebody that does. Man, I'm saying the other day ago again that this is the time and the dispensation of knowledge. Knowledge is being released like never before. Like never before. Man, you could go in here and I promise you, if there's something you need, call me. Because if I can't get it, I know somebody that can. You need a word, a revelation, an understanding about whatever, man. It's here. Whatever you need to know. The Spirit is here for that knowledge. If it's asking a question in you, you have the answer. You have the answer. Now you got to let that thing come up out of you. You got to let it come, because as it's revealed to you, you'll be able to reveal it to others. Because there's people that are just like you asking that same question. Asking the same question. I speak on the vibrations, and because that is so important. A lot of times we get caught up on words, even where it is, as I said, more so a vibration even than a word. And into that, I reference back to the walls of Jericho. When those walls came down, it was at the trump sound, and it was the vibration that shook and brought the walls down. Well, in that story, we understand that it wasn't nothing but a vibration. It wasn't a word particularly said. And now we need to know that vibration is here for us. That power of that is here for us. And we have to start using it. And we have to put that vibration, put that word, put that knowledge against everything that would try to inhibit you, that would try to hinder you. We need to not be looking at the thing as it comes to us and wait for it to hit. I read a book once called Dealing with the Devil, and it was an awesome piece, man. But one thing it said was, far too often times we'll see the problem afar off, and we'll wait and we'll be watching it, and we'll wait for it to come right up on us, you know. And then when it gets up on you, then you want to try to react and do, well, it's too late then. Now is the time. We got some important scenarios coming up, and important scenarios that we're living in right now. Now is the time to speak to it. Now is the time. And the Spirit is waiting to hear from you. I can't remember who it was, but one of the speakers of old said about how he had a vision of going to heaven, and he said that when he went and he was taken to a room, and when he looked into the room, it had all of these parts, these body parts and whatnot, and he was like, "Oh, what's that?" He said, "Well, these are the parts that were waiting for the folks that needed them that never asked for them." Oh, I'm finna ask for mine. I'm finna take mine, and I'm not taking no for an answer. I can't. Realizing, understanding that we are the epistle read of all men here on earth. We are the gods here on earth. It says, don't you know that ye are gods? Don't get all caught up in the semantics and all that, man. Understand that we have the superpower. We are the generator, operator, and destroyer right here, man. The word says that. But when the word comes to something, oh man, I don't know if that's what it meant. Okay, well, you can try to interpret the word, but the Bible says it ain't here. I'm not open for interpretation. That's what it said. And it said, at such a time as this, that these things are going to be happening, man. The Christian spirit that was demonstrated in these words, was spoke about, was telling about how we were supposed to be acting here on earth. Man, the walking on the water and the wine and the fish and the bread, that wasn't for heaven. That was for now. This is for now, man. And I'm encouraging you folks, man, to start moving in your power and your authority. You've seen it happen before. You've seen yourself when you walk in with authority, then things change. Well, situations are waiting on you to change them. They're waiting on you to change them. You've got to move in your spirit, period, in your power, in your authority. And the enemies that we're up against, or this negative that we're up against, is trying to convince you that you have no authority. And we're constantly every day seeing, I like when they say the verbiage as youngsters use, culture vultures. Culture vultures. I thought, oh, that's interesting. Well, they say, well, y'all this, y'all that, and talking about my people, and then next thing I know, they implement it. Well, man, if that's such a bad thing, how come you stealing it? Because we are the juju. Man, watch out now. We the juice, we the battery. We are the ones that carry the divine spark right here. And that spark is in you. And that spark is for you. And you got to start taking them steps in that. And don't be listening to the negative, because you actually there's a couple of them, 2 or 3 little angels all around you, and one of them just said, "Man, you need to change the channel because homie here is touched." And the other one saying, "Man, listen to that dude. That's kind of interesting." Yeah, it's interesting. Speak it, man. Word says, "Speak to the mountain." You got to speak and believe to all your mountains and situations. Man, I get a check, man, or I get an envelope in the mail, and I take that thing and I say, money. I say, energy. I speak to my water, my plants, the walls, the doors, the locks, the air conditioning. You have authority over it all. Man, I don't care what the cat thinks. I'll say, look at you. Well, he's over there speaking to the air conditioner. Well, he's over there cool and you're hot. I'm saying, it's what it is. Stay hot, stay hot. Stay broke, stay broke. I'm not going to confess broke. I was listening to folk the other day going, this is some folk I respect, man, and they kind of got a word and whatnot. But again, that's why I say we all need to kind of hear, listen to each other, iron sharpen iron, because, I'm going to get an opportunity to go to this individual and tell them that you need to stop saying that like that. But they be saying, well, my sinuses, my diabetes. I'm like, where in the Bible does it say that you got some diabetes? Where in the Bible, where in any of the great spiritual writings does it talk about that? All of them talk about healing and walking in the divine and being in health and talk about eating and I like the scripture Daniel talk about when the youngsters was there and they didn't eat the king's meat and whatnot and they were smarter and more healthier and more vibrant than I'm telling you about even when you fast. When I was fasting, I'm telling you, when I hit about day 10, the fast pains went away. And about day 20, so I had energy. I had energy. And it wasn't like, no, I couldn't go lift weights on it. But anything I needed to do, I knew I could do it. Oh, shout out. That's who we are, man. That's who we are. And that's what we have to start moving in. And I challenge you. Man, ain't nobody gonna know if you just when you next time you going down the street or whatever, and like say them sirens, not the sirens, but and even if it's sirens. I heard the sister on the little TV show she got and all the other day. She was the Wi-Fi line and was messing up, and I know they ain't nothing but the enemy, and I bind that up. I said, oh, and it cleared up. I said, that's what I'm talking about. Man, you better come on. Because here's the thing. If you don't start moving in your butterfly capacity, then you will have problems. I can't remember the man of God that shared it, but he was talking about the seasons, and he said how the seasons come. And it says if you don't respect the seasons will kill you. Let me tell you, man, if you don't move in this power that has been released to us, it's not going to be good. They got folk up talking about spontaneous combustion and I'm like, whoa, that's a little far out there, but okay. They got folk, man. I had a friend growing up, man, and she used to hear voices, man, and she went crazy, died young. I thought, man, if she'd have learned how to deal with that, she just ran in fear. There's nothing that is outside of our authority because we've been given the authority. That's what the word says. We've been given the authority. So we're going to move in this authority. I got some folks I'm going to start sharing with you because they're just doing some powerful things. And into that, it'll strengthen you. And then some of y'all need to be getting away from some of the stuff that you're watching and indulging in now anyway. But the point I make is, as this one gentleman in particular, he did a series of Hidden Colors. And I don't know if you're familiar with it, but if you're not, you should look it up because this, Lord have mercy, whew, hot as fish grease. But he speaks on how he started off doing something else and looking to do something. And he said, but he ended up doing this. And I thought, man, that's it, man. I'll be telling folks, just start, take the step, start moving in it. Start moving in it, and your steps will be honored. What's the word talk about? How he honors small beginnings. Come on, man. I remember when I was really getting, I had the youth center, God's Powerhouse on Colfax Avenue, Denver, right there in the thick of it. And I can remember how the folks used to come and say, man, they just burned bread all over me, man, you know. And I wasn't really up on church politics and whatnot. So a lot of it I didn't understand. I just, poo-pooed it and went on doing what I was doing. But I kept doing what I was doing. You know, a lot of, well, you can't do that. And I'm like, okay. Because I hadn't really been raised in the political end of the church, I didn't really know that part. And so because I didn't know, I didn't stop. I just did what I felt in my spirit. And I was doing it. I was doing it. I'm gonna tell you too though, just like when Peter stepped out on the water, when I started listening to people, man, I sank, man. Well, you can't do that. And I'm like, well, I would entertain. Well, why? What do you mean I'm doing that? Why do you mean I can't do it? Yesterday, I did it twice. Platforms open for anybody who wants to come and share it with me. Chaos963.com. Drop off your messages. I got some little things over there. I got some candles I want to start showing now. I really got into the burning of the candles. It was real peaceful and all for me, and it helped me to focus. So I'm selling candles, and so you can go to the chaos963.com, and I'm getting that together. Again, a lot of negativity fighting to get that all up right, but I'm just, I can't be stopped. So bear with me on that. If it's not, and if you have problems with it, we're gonna work that out. And I say I got the Instagram up there. You can see that. I got the Cash App. If you feel so inclined to bless a brother, and do that. And I'm like Paul, man. This is something, not so it can be something that where the conduit can be open to be a blessing under your account, man. It's a seed for real. You planting me, I promise you, and you'll be blessed, and I promise you that you'll be blessed when you start moving and acting on these principles that I'm sharing. Because I'm start my system here. I'm not having a problem with it. I'm learning it still. Because even now I could go over there and switch over and show you the different shot from this other camera here, and then to that I can have the web pages put up and whatnot. And so I'm do that. But as I further along my progress in this, and so that you can see some of these scriptures and whatnot that I share. But in the meantime, we still have success here. But again, I want to thank you for coming through. It's gonna get nothing but better. It's my first time on this YouTube platform, going out live, and I'm happy with it. But again, it's not for me. I was happy when I wasn't doing it. But I wasn't getting no sleep. So I said, look, man, you gonna quit waking me up, pal. We gonna work this out, not now, but right now, because I'm not having it. So yeah, so that's why I'm here, and I know that it's for somebody's. Get this, man. Get this. Get that you are who you are. You sisters, get who you are. You are the divine creator of this whole thing. I listen. I'm going to say it, but if God in a physical form, it'd probably be a black woman. You know what I'm saying? And I've got some stuff on that, and if you're gonna be mad at me, go and be mad at me now, and then I'm gonna act like, Anyway, into this understanding, I give to you the knowledge that I have, and I'm again set this other side angle up and start putting some stuff on the screen so you can see where I got a lot of this knowledge from, and a lot of it's right there in the Word, man. But the bottom line says that we win, and it tells us to subdue. It tells us to conquer, to go out, and we just kind of read that stuff like it was, just the assignment on Sunday, lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. Man, when's the last time you laid hands on somebody? Go lay hands on them. Don't be tripping with man. I don't feel like, well, man, this thing passed feelings a long time ago. It passed by feelings a long time ago. You know, knock and it shall. All them shells is loaded. Knock and it shall. Oh man, I wish I just had a witness up in this thing right here, boy. I'm telling you. So then let's just move into things that we had to move in and be blessed as we're blessed, and cause that's what it's supposed to be. Come out of this fear room and realize, man, that it's this time for such a time as this that you were brought to this time. So I leave you in peace and love and understanding, and look forward to talking to you. I guess I'll be back on Monday. And until then.